坂本達夫のスタートアップ酒場イエーイ。今回の坂本達夫のスタートアップ酒場はRevenueCatっていう海外の会社のコーファウンダーで CTO のミゲルさんっていう方なんですけれども、アプリのサブスクリプションビジネスの、実装を簡単にしたりだとか分析できるようになったりだとか、そういったツールを提供していらっしゃる会社です。それから海外のスタートアップってどういう風に創業してどういう風に、成長していくんだろうみたいな新しい話もいろいろと聞けると思います。今回はですね、いつもいろんなスタートアップの社長さんだったりだとかマーケティングの、すごい人をお招きしているんですけれども、初めての試みとして日本語が話せないゲストの方をお呼びしています。ちょっとどんな感じになるのかわかんないですけど、多分字幕で皆さん見てらっしゃるんですかね。はい。という形で、早速ですが、ご紹介したいと思います。RevenueCatという会社のコーファウンダー CTO のミゲルさんです。よろしくお願いします。
Encantado。Muchas gracias. Thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here.
じゃあ、まず最初にミゲルさんの簡単な自己紹介をお伺いしたいと思うんですけれども、So would you please briefly introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Miguel, co-founder and CTO at RevenueCat, originally from Spain. Moved to Silicon Valley pretty much after graduating school because that's where I thought all the technology changes were happening. That's where I met my co-founder Diego. We work at a small startup first, and then we realized about the problem of subscriptions in apps, and we decided to start a company, and that's how we started RevenueCat.
Nice. When did you start the company?
We started the first line of code, I think it was in end of August, September 2017, but we officially launched in 2018. We were part of Y Combinator in December 2018, so that's when we officially started, and then started hiring people and making it a real company.
Nice. っていうことは2018年に会社を創業したっていうことで、もう6年ぐらいってことですね。
Probably. I don't even count anymore because weeks look like years and years look like weeks. It's a weird timeline for founders, but yeah, that's about right.
Got it. っていうことで、RevenueCatっていう会社とかサービスのこと、一部の多分アプリの開発者さん知ってる方も日本でもいるかもしれないんですけど、知らない方も中にいらっしゃると思うので、まずどういうサービスなのかっていうのを聞いてみようと思います。Could you please briefly explain what RevenueCat does?
Yeah, so we started as an API to help an SDK to help developers monetize their apps through subscriptions. So we solve three problems. The main one is building cross-platform subscriptions, which is a very hard problem because you need to know the App Store, you need to know the Play Store, so we unify everything. Then the second problem we solve is once you are able to monetize, you want to analyze your data, right? You want to know how your business is doing in real time, and sometimes the tools that Apple and Google provide are not that good or not real time. And then the third one is once you have subscriptions and you know about your business, you want to grow your business. So we help you with tools like paywalls, price experiment, targeting to really get your business to the next level.
面白い。いくつかの3つぐらいの問題を解決してるっていうお話だったんですけど、そういった問題っていうのにはどうやって最初気づかれたんでしょうか？
We faced them firsthand at the previous company. It was called Elevate. It was App of the Year in 2014. It was a brain training app. It got pretty popular. And we learned that the only way for apps to survive, really, especially if you're providing recurring value, is through subscriptions. So we faced the same three problems. First of all, we were like, okay, we need to make sure that we build a billing system that is cross-platform, which wasn't rocket science at first. But then later we realized okay, well, when you're at the scale, it has a lot of problems and the APIs change all the time and there's some inconsistencies, so you need to prepare for that. And the API is provided by the stores.
今はほとんどのアプリ開発者、RevenueCatを使ってない開発者っていうのは2つのプラットフォームそれぞれに、ずっと対応し続けなきゃいけないってことですかね。
Right, so they don't have to do it with us. We have an engineering team that makes sure that they keep track of everything, and integrating our SDK is super simple. It's just a few lines of code, and then the data model, everything is one interface only. So it doesn't matter. For instance, we have SDKs for React Native, Unity, and a lot of cross-platform Flutter too. So we are able to provide subscription in a unified way for both platforms without the developer really needing to know all the internals.
なるほど。ってことはそれを使うと多分開発者の人数っていうのがすごく少なくて済むってことですかね。
Absolutely, and it's much easier to do. Like normally it would take, I would say, if you're a good developer, maybe a few weeks, sometimes even longer. But with us, like in a matter of hours, you can accept recurring payments right away.
That's a very massive improvement.
Yeah.
それから2つ目の問題が What was the second problem you were solving?
Analyzing, right? It's making sure that you understand how your business is doing. Especially, that gets super important too when you're like spending money on ads and things like that. So you want to see the return of investment and see like if you're spending more money than you should or not, and how much money you're making through those ads. So like being able to analyze it was very important. And the third one was like growing it and doing experimentation too, because like some countries behave differently, or maybe you're charging too much for your app, or you're charging too low. So being able to like change, or maybe your paywall is not even good, or you're not showing it enough, or you're showing it too much. To be able to experiment with all those things really can change the trajectory of your app.
My understanding of the subscription app developer was like not making much of the change in the app, like a price or like systems or anything, but just like keeps the business just going as is, and then do some experiment in the user acquisition side or something, but not necessarily make much changes in app. And you said that that's not sufficient to like maximize the business.
No, not necessarily, right? I mean, obviously you need a great product, and you need to provide a value, right? Like if you don't provide value, we just released the state of subscription apps with a lot of interesting data, and yeah, it shows that there's a big percentage of apps with subscriptions that don't make any money, but then like there's a few apps that make a lot of money because they provide good recurring value to customers. But once you're doing that, there's a lot of tweaks that can really move the needle. There's a lot of experiments you can do. Like you can play with the duration of the subscription, you can play with the duration of the free trial if you have free trials or not. The pricing too, like you could even do like targeting based on the country or even platforms, right? Maybe on Android, some users are more price sensitive potentially. So those are a lot of things that you can do to maybe your take rate is a little bit lower, but your conversion rate is a lot higher. So.
なるほどね。So would you tell me some example of successful app developer who has done those experiments, and what was the like improvement in what KPIs and like that?
Yeah, we have a lot of developers. We're on over 30,000 apps right now.
30,000.
Yeah, so 9 out of 10 apps that use a subscription management system use RevenueCat nowadays.
9 out of 10, you said.
Yes.
Wow.
And yeah, we have indie developers, a lot of indie developers, but also have bigger companies like Notion, Visco, Soso. They're using all of our experiments and they're seeing results.
面白い。何がそのサブスクリプションビジネスにインパクトを与える一番大きい3つのドライバーだと思いますか？
Well, as I said, I think it's very important that your app, I would say, has product market fit, but it's probably deeper than that. It's like you're providing some value, because at the end of the day, no matter how harsh you push or how many things you do, like if you have an app that people don't want to use, then you can probably not fix it, right? But if you have, like we see the opposite a lot. We see really great apps that maybe are not doing it well. So we even have some developer experts in our company that would do office hours with you and help you like criticize your paywall, or because that's one of the easiest one too. Like maybe your paywall doesn't show the value really well, or you're not showing the paywall enough. That's super common finding is that some people are afraid of showing the paywall, and some users don't even know that there's a subscription option in the app, right? So that's one thing. And really highlighting what are the benefits of subscribing. Yeah, pricing is another one that is very important too. Yeah, there's the thing. There's a lot of variables. So yeah, the nice thing is like being able to have a dashboard to see how these little things can impact your app and make decisions really quickly. Makes a big difference.
なるほどね。 でも結構今のお話聞いてると、それシステムをRevenueCatが提供するっていうだけじゃなくて、それをどう使ってどう活用していくかみたいなところがめちゃくちゃ大事そうですね。
Yeah, we try to we even have we write a lot of content. That's how we started actually, writing a lot of content, and also we have a podcast because we wanna my co-founder and I are developers, so we really emphasize with the community. Like we are also developers. Our mission is helping developers make more money, so we try to, as much as we can, help them understand what the trends are and what are the good practices. So yeah, we spend a lot of time and resources working on that. Oh, and also another thing that I forgot to mention is that we also integrate with your most typical third-party tools like Adjust, Subsliers, Branch, Braze. So you can send back information from RevenueCat to those integrations, and it helps you with your acquisition strategy too.
なるほどね。それめちゃくちゃいいですね。じゃあちょっと今ファウンダーのお話も出たんで、その会社のなんか立ち上げとかについてのお話についても聞いていこうと思うんですけど、2人ともエンジニアバックグラウンドってことですよね。
I had been working with my co-founder Jacob for 5 years before we started it. He's American. He joined the company that I used to work a week after I did or something like that. So we overlapped for a long time, which was honestly a great experience because we respect each other a lot, both as people but also technical, right? But it was great to work at another startup first and see the highs and the lows and being together in such a journey, which gave us a lot more confidence to start a company together.
今から会社をスタートするぞっていうそのタイミングで初めて会ったとかじゃないってことですね。
Exactly, and I think sometimes it works, right? But it's a lot riskier. I think co-founder conflict is one of the things that can really kill your startup. So if you really trust your co-founder and you both know that we are both there for the right reasons, it makes things so much easier.
なるほどね。その時にそのコファウンダーのことについてはどういうポイントが気に入ってた、好きだと思ってたんですか？
Yeah, we really enjoyed working together, and we also had personal relationship outside of work. We are pretty much same age, so we were born in different countries too. He's American and from Spain, but it was a great relationship of respect, and we knew he always wanted to start a company. I also that was one of the dreams of mine too. That's one of the reasons why I always wanted to work at a startup, was to be closer with the founders and learn how it was done, and which is a really good training. I think it's never the same, but it's a really good training. And at some point we realized that at the previous company we were spending a lot of engineering resources on this particular problem, which wasn't the unique problem that the company was trying to face, right? And we were there needs to be a better option for developers. So we talked with developers and we realized anybody that wanted to do subscription needed this type of tools. So we wanted to provide a way for developers to focus on what's really unique in their apps and not spend engineering resources in the billing system of subscription management.
なるほどね。Y コンビネーターに採択されたみたいなこともおっしゃってたんですけど、どういうふうにその最初のステップっていうのは進んだんでしょうか？
We knew the problem, right? Which was great. Which is something which was a weird skill that both my co-founder and I acquired working on this particular problem. It was a very niche problem, but we knew it really well. So obviously, as customers of this potential product, we knew a lot of things that customers would need. But again, it's not the same building something for one person than building it for 30,000 apps, right? But yeah, we were able to build the prototype, the MVP, really quickly. And then obviously we started talking with customers to adapt it and make it more extensible for other type of apps too. And with that, we thought it would be a good idea to apply to Y Combinator. I honestly thought it was very early and that we wouldn't get in.
その時はまだ、プロトタイプだけがあった。
I would say it was a little bit better than a prototype, but not much better. And we have maybe a handful of customers at that point. That they weren't paying us that much. But I think one of the cool things about our business that Y Combinator was able to see was the fact that we were helping, we were growing because we were getting more developers but also our developers were making more money with the tools that we were providing. So there was like a double way of us for growth.
ってことは、入れたら開発が楽になるってだけじゃなくて彼らのビジネスも伸びてたってことですね。
Exactly.
で、その YC に採択されるのって結構大変だったんですか？
I mean, you never know really, but I think my co-founder especially put a lot of effort in writing the application and getting review. I think that's one of the main steps. It's making sure that you write a very solid application and that you dedicate enough time, because I've been helping a lot of companies reviewing applications before they apply, and sometimes people either use very weird language or marketing language, and that's not what YC wants. YC really wants to understand what you're building, and they don't want like a fancy pitch. Exactly. And also like dedicating some time to it, right? Like some people like just write it in the last minute, and it's like it's also, regardless of if you get into YC or not, I think it's an amazing exercise for founders to really think about what they're building, what they want to build, and to be on the same page with your co-founders.
なるほどね。で、その実際 YC の経験っていうのはどうでしたか？
I was amazing. Like I cannot say anything bad about YC really. For us, it was, I think those were the most productive months of the history of RevenueCat, pretty much, because there's so much energy, and also you have one thing that people don't talk about is the peer pressure. It's like you go there every week, you meet with your partner, with your group partners, but also you meet with other very smart and talented founders, and you don't want to be the most stupid person in the room. So you're saying like, oh, by next week we're gonna get so many customers and we're gonna build this feature and we're gonna talk with customers and things like that. So you really want to make sure that next week you have done that and probably even more than that. So
面白い。
it was really helpful.
あと他の同じバッチには何社ぐらいの会社がいたんですか？
I think there were about 150 or something like that. So it was a pretty big batch.
その YC が終わった後はもうそこからトントン拍子にって感じですか？
Yeah, I think at that point during YC, before YC, we were even debating if we wanted to go like to raise venture capital money or not. And at that point, we realized that we didn't want to do anything crazy because we really wanted to build a sustainable business. So because as developers, the last thing that we wanted was to build something and then 6 months we don't have any money and we need to close and screw all the developers that trusted us. But we also realized that there was a big opportunity, and if we were able to raise a little bit of money, then it would make things a little bit faster to hire the people that we wanted a little bit earlier. And also there was nobody doing this. So it made sense, and we got really great investor. Jason Lankin from Saster was really interested and has helped us since the beginning. And the terms were great, so that's how we did it. And then by the end of the year, we were already 5 people. And yeah, all employees were engineers. It's a very engineer focused culture.
面白い。なるほどね。順番としてはやっぱりそのエンジニアを雇っていいプロダクトを作ってっていうのが先に来て、でマーケティングとかセールスはその後っていう感じで考えてたんですかね。
I mean, it really depends. I think for our case it made a lot of sense because our product is very technical for technical people. And we were also kind of doing the marketing, right? And the way we were doing the marketing was like mostly content marketing and talking with customers or potential customers.
So you mean the customers like developers themselves?
Yes. Yes. I also think that regardless, I think it's very important. That's something culturally is very different in my home country in Spain. People that start companies are mostly business people, but not technical people. And I think that can work. But if your product is very technical, you probably can benefit a lot from having a technical co-founder or early engineers.
なるほどね。日本でも多分今RevenueCat使ってる人って結構その個人開発者みたいな人とかが多いと思うんですけど、それはアメリカとか日本の外でも最初はやっぱ個人デベロッパーとかが多かったんですか？
Yeah, I think so. We actually never had we're just starting building the sales team for more enterprise, and we're focusing now a lot more in enterprise. But yeah, like we probably started more within the developers. The fun thing too is that we've been able to see, which is super rewarding, see those indie developers getting really big or getting promoted by Apple or Google and becoming like app of the week or things like that. And yeah, some of them like really blow up, and that's been amazing. But at the same time, we also have like much bigger companies using the service.
なるほどね。ちっちゃいインディーデベロッパーではなくてそのエンタープライズに今もっとフォーカスしてるっていう話だったんですけど、そこで初めて出てくるこうユニークなチャレンジみたいなのっていうのはありましたか？
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, everybody wants to benefit from the same tools, and that's one of the goals. Like we want to have the indie developer that is in wherever they are, being able to support their families with world-class tooling, for sure. I think the biggest challenge for like bigger companies or big, maybe they have a system already that maybe they're not super happy about, or the data is incorrect and they want better data, but they need to migrate the data. So we're trying to like work on making sure that importing, like being able to import your data to RevenueCat is much faster and much easier and things like that. So we wanna, and obviously there's a lot more bureaucracy in bigger companies, right? So an indie developer can just like sign up for free and start using the SDK right away. And for a bigger company, normally it takes a little bit longer. But yeah, that's what we're really working on, trying to reduce that and make it like super simple for the bigger teams and bigger companies.
なるほどね。